Yes, sir. Hey, talk to me now. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Coffee. Let's get on G. Hey, Minio. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
All right, guys. Good morning. I'm gonna just adjust this steering wheel here and then head up to the office. So, yeah. Good morning. We're back here for, I guess, part 2 of the storm. Kind of. It snowed again at the end of our last shift, actually, which was yesterday. Today is December 24th, so it's Christmas Eve. So we're out in our tractor. It's Christmas Eve, but at least it's early morning, so hopefully we can spend Christmas Eve with our families. It looks like the snow has stopped, so that's awesome. The worst part right now is just windy, so it's really cold. I think it's minus 18, and it's just really windy. So the snow, the last snow that fell down, so the first part of the storm, it was wet snow, then like rain for a large part of it, and then like a slushy kind of a snow, so like sleet fell down, and then now we're at a really light snow, which is good because it's easy to blow, but the problem is it's really windy, so it's kind of blowing it around. I kind of went and drove a few routes where I came in with my truck to check out some spots, and it's just really messy just because of the wind. So the wind's kind of blowing everything all over the place, so it's very drifty right now. So the best thing for us is if the wind calms down, that would be great, because it would be easier to kind of clean up driveways. So sometimes when it's this windy, you can basically go do your whole route, and then when you're done, it looks like a complete mess again just due to the wind. And if it keeps up with the wind, I mean, there's nothing we can really do unless we keep doing the driveways, which, you know, if the wind stays up for several days or several hours, I mean, you're just kind of chasing it. So that kind of is a little tricky to figure that out, but hopefully the wind stops and dies down, and then we'll be good to go here. So I'm gonna go into the office right now, grab my tablet, throw it up here in the tractor, and then start our first route here. So go do cleanups, and with any luck, plows. The city was supposed to dispatch plows at 4 o'clock this morning, and I think there's a few areas that have already been hit, so that's awesome. So if plows all get done, you know, at a good time, then we should be good today, and I'm thinking we'll be done by noon or shortly after. So if everything goes according to plan, which it never does in snow removal, but if it does, hopefully we'll be done here in about 6 or 8 hours, and we can get back home and spend Christmas Eve with our families. So I know that's everyone's goal today, so let's get after it and hopefully get home and go enjoy the rest of our evening.
To get your 2022 F-150 today, visit your nearby.
Pushing up, pulling away from you. Giving you take. Young blood, see you want me. Out of your life, and I'm just a dead man walking tonight. But you need it, yeah, you need it. All of this time, yeah. Young blood, see you want me. Back in your life, so I'm just a dead man crawling tonight. 'Cause I need it, yeah, I need it.
Alright guys, so we are plugging away here. For most of you this won't matter, but right now I'm working in a spot that we call North Graves, which is off Terry Fox, if you're familiar with Ottawa at all. And yeah, it's been an interesting start to the morning. I have a guy coming over right now to come see me. His blower, his PTO shaft won't spin, and I'm pretty sure what's wrong is the first thing that happened is first driveway, he broke a shear pin in the back, and then he's saying it won't, the blower, every time it goes to spin the shaft right now, it's stalling at the tractor. So I'm pretty sure, because we just started right now, what he probably did was, and of course he's a new guy, it's a rookie, so this can happen, he probably clogged his blower at the end of the last shift. It's been very cold right now, it's freezing out, and I think what he did probably is his auger or his chute is probably plugged full of snow, and then didn't clean it, it's now frozen in there, in which case, if that is the case, you either have to go to a car wash and blast it out, which I've actually done before and that sucks, or else go to the shop and if they have room to bring it in right now, bring it in the shop and we'll have to torch it. So he should be here in a minute. We'll have to deal with that, get him up and going, and then right now we're playing the short staff game. It seems like there's a few people on in right now. So yeah, lots of fun, guys. Lots of fun. And of course, all the driveways are pretty badly drifted in at the moment. So it's, the plowings are actually a decent size. So lots of mess, lots of fun, lots of absent drivers. We're missing 2 guys right now in this area. So hopefully they'll be in shortly, if in at all. But hopefully they will be in, and we'll get things rolling here, guys. So anyways, that's a little update. I think I see the tractor coming down the road now, so I'm gonna try to help this guy out here and keep on keeping on here. So we will catch you guys in a bit. That's a little update of the lovely snow challenges we have right now. So it's all fun. Alright guys, we are plugging along here. We're 24% on this route that we're on right now. North Graves 3 it's called. I wanted to talk about something. So I mentioned it like in the first video that I made, talking about what I'm going to be doing this winter as far as the snow removal is concerned and running this tractor here. I talked about the 2014 6105R that I was running previously. This is a 2022 6110M. And something that I think I touched on, but not in great detail, I want to just kind of take a minute to share with you guys, is the joysticks here and how to control the blower. So in the back here, I'm going to try to swing this around. So basically, to move that blower, so like this, basically it rotates like this. So you can move it left to right, and then up and down. And how I'm doing that right now is right here. So basically I'm going left and right, and then up and down on this joystick. This is new. On the 2014 I was previously operating, basically it had these controls here. And I'm not sure the proper terminology for these controls, but I call them fingertip controls. I used to run a tractor back when I was younger that was like sticks, like this, kind of an old farm tractor. So basically, when I first got in this tractor, I sat in here with Jim, and Jim was kind of telling me, he actually originally set it up to run it off this stick. And in myself, I'm thinking, you know what, we tried it, didn't feel too comfortable at first, wasn't obviously used to it. This, to me, these controls I'm more used to. But on the 2014, when I didn't realize at first, and I started thinking about it yesterday, because people are gonna laugh because you're gonna think this is silly, but my back started getting sore, and I operate equipment my entire life, and certain pieces of machinery just kind of tweak your back or your body certain ways. Obviously I do a lot of manual labor too, and that hits you differently, and I'm not trying to whine, I'm trying to share this with you, is that I noticed my back was getting sore, my upper right part of my back, and I'm thinking to myself, why is my back continuously getting sore? And there was kind of two things that I realized, and the biggest thing was just simply this. These controls over here, where it's set up right here, these fingertip controls is what I call them, when you're putting your blower up and down, you're constantly, your hands kind of comfortable in this position. You're reaching over here, kind of far, extending your shoulder and your back kind of over to this area to run those controls. And what I learned was, on my 2014, the controls are actually right here. They're all the controls, those fingertip controls that are right here in the side, are actually in the chair, and your chair swivels here and moves if you wanted to. So all those controls are right at your palm. So I actually like that, because basically you're lifting your blower up and down, you're going in and out of this first gear and second gear, and all the controls were right here. And even honestly, something that I actually dislike too is the PTO button was also all attached right to the swivel in this chair. So to me, the 2014 style is better, because all those controls are right at your fingertips. Everything, you just moving your wrist, you can hit all the buttons. So I like that a lot better actually. So I do prefer the layout of the buttons in the 14 better. I think it's way more comfortable, and it makes way more sense how it's laid out. Someone might have a different opinion, and I mean, this tractor isn't just made for snow removal. Obviously it's used for agricultural purposes too, so there's probably other reasons as to why it's set up like how it is. And I'm not sure too, because I didn't buy these tractors. I'm not sure if purchasing wise, if you know, it being here, maybe you can have it in the swivel but it's more expensive. I'm not sure about that, so I could be wrong. Maybe it's just an option upgrade, I'm not sure. I will ask. But for now anyways, how I'm running it, what I did was I switched the hydraulic lines in the back, and what I have it now is running the stick. So I was using these finger controls, I'm running the stick now. And because the stick is closer, I find it way more comfortable. You save yourself about 8 inches or 10 inches, maybe even a foot almost, of reaching your arm out. Now your arm's tight here instead of over here. So that's something I noticed. It's way more comfortable. And now that I'm actually getting the hang of moving the stick, because this stick really, how it works, you can kind of see it actually behind me. If you look behind me and watch my arm here, you can see as I move that stick left and right here, try to catch it in the full frame for you, and then up and down, it does exactly what your arm does. So honestly, getting used to this is pretty cool. It does work pretty good. I still wish the PTO button was also over here. So it's not fun when you, how I was using it yesterday, basically you're in and out of this this second gear, so you're back and forth between this gear all the time. You're lifting your blower is right here. Yesterday how I was running it, then you're reaching over here for your up and down and left to right, and then your PTO is here. So your arm is in 3 different places, which to me seems like nonsense. In the 2014 I was running, the blower controls up and down is still here, the PTO button is right basically here somewhere, and these controls are right here. So all these controls are right into one. So honestly, I find that kind of odd how something that is a newer piece of equipment does not have that same setup for control, because to me that's way more efficient. Like I said, you can literally hit all the buttons by just moving your wrist back and forth, not your whole arm kind of moving all over the place. So not liking that. I am enjoying this stick the more I'm getting used to it. It's kind of neat to control, so I do enjoy that. You can also too, guys, which I'm using a bit, put it in forward and reverse. So if you push here, it's forward, push here, it's reverse. I'm used to doing it up here, so I do find this still more natural to do. I am trying to get used to it there. You can also lift your blower too using this button. So if you set your blower right here, you set it forward, then you can use this button to lift the blower up and down. But I just find it not as responsive doing that, so I haven't been doing it, because I just using the stick I find more responsive. So anyways, just a little update for you guys. A couple things that I thought I should mention that I noticed, and honestly a little bit, I'm gonna say more disappointing, because I after kind of evaluating it, the 2014 I think makes way more sense how the buttons are laid out. And again, don't roast me in the video here, because perhaps that's just an option when you buy the tractor. Maybe that's why this is like this. So if that's the case, well, then I have to take that up with the owner, because I would recommend putting all the buttons here if you could, because it's way more efficient to use. So anyways, besides that, let's keep blowing some snow.
away from you. I give and I give and I give and you take, giving you take. You're running around and I'm running away from you.
All right, guys, what's up? This is our looks like the end of our pass. All the plows are pretty much done or being wrapped up right now, so that's great. Everyone's kind of staying on top of things. So it's again, it's December 24th, so it's New Year's Eve. I think it's, what time is it? We'll check the time here so I'm telling you accurately. It's 12:30, so it looks like I think we'll all be done around 2 o'clock, so that gets everyone home in a decent time. Anyways, last I talked with you guys at the start of this shift, I was kind of describing about the different spots for the controls here and the stick instead of the controls. I'm just gonna hold this camera here instead. So the using the finger controls that I call them, and then the stick. And since then I've actually learned some pretty cool tricks. So I was not overly fussy about this 2022 originally. I like the things of the visibility is great, seeing over the nose is nice, having the side windows I love for the intake of air coming in here. Lots of kind of, you know, great things. It's a very smooth machine as far as the transmission and the shifting goes. The lights kind of light everything up very nicely. I think there's side lights on this one, so again, that might just be an option, but either way, it is a nice option. But I wasn't crazy about the position of your hand and how you know, have to reach over here for the controls and then back over here. It seemed like you're kind of moving your hand back and forth here for your first and second gear. Then you're running your chute here, lifting your blower here, turning your PTO on here. So it seemed like kind of you're running a circuit, which to me was a bit annoying. But since then I learned a great trick. So my terminologies here will not be great, but I'll describe it to you in my best way that I can. So basically this tractor has a lot of presets and a lot of really great technology to it. And what you can essentially do is run it into a drive mode here. So basically you preset down here this 1 or 2 engine speed, and it'll basically maintain that speed for you. Your brake pedal and accelerator both work exactly like a car. It's an automatic. This works exactly like a car. Although the RPM is up, instinctively you would think that means it's harder to brake because there's resistance. It causes no resistance at all. So it's very, very interesting because this makes your RPM hold up. So I'm going to put it on right now to show you. So basically you click this button here and it brings your RPM, and we were sitting there at about 850 and now it's at 1670. So it brought that RPM way up. If you can see it there than what it was, and you can probably hear it a little bit with the microphone. So a cool thing is that, like I said, the RPM's up, so you would think right now if you push the brake pedal it would be harder, you have that resistance. There's none whatsoever, so it does not affect that at all. What it does though, it slows down kind of on its own. But the cool thing is that because that RPM is up, that's going to help you to shoot your snow and keep that RPM strong for launching your snow out of the blower. And then what you don't have to do is use this stick. So there's no more second and first gear and running it back and forth between these gears when you're pulling a driveway. You just preset your RPM here and that's it. You're not touching this at all. Then on the blower, as we kind of talked about earlier on, this stick goes up and then down, left and right, which replaces these controls. And I also learned that this 6 and 7 here, or sorry, 7 and 8 rather, is instead of lifting your blower here, you can just lift your blower this way, so up and down. And then we also talked about this being forward and reverse. So this lifts your blower up and down, these 2 buttons right here, so there's up, there's down. This puts the tractor in forward and reverse. This stick here now moves your chute, and your RPMs are being held up. What that basically means, guys, is when I do a driveway, so the normal thing is I back in, reach up to the shifter up here at the steam wheel to put it into drive, okay? Reach this lever here to put the blower down, then pull ahead, then put the stick into first, pull ahead, and then run the chute the whole time. Now when you do it, all you have to do is just back in the driveway. The RPMs are already up for you. You just drop the blower down, so hit the number 7 button here, and then put it in forward, and then use the stick to blow the snow. So it makes it so much easier. Like, this is honestly incredible. I'm gonna turn this RPM down. This kind of streamlines the process when you're blowing the snow and makes it so much easier. You're essentially just running the forward and reverse button and your blower up and down, and then kind of just adjusting your chute, but it's all done by this one hand control here. You're not moving around to multiple different stations. So it's really, really cool, very comfortable. Your hand kind of follows here naturally. I run a rototilt on my excavator. We have, if you guys see our other videos, we have a black 2022 Yanmar 10-ton excavator with a rototilt on it, and we're used to like those have many different controls. This is honestly kind of similar. Rototilt's a little more complicated, has a few more buttons on it, but it's honestly very similar to a rototilt if I can make that comparison. What it can do now on this stick is incredibly handy, and I am a huge fan of this. Rev it up, run the stick controls here, everything's done on this one joystick, and it just kind of streamlines the whole process, makes it very easy. So I'm going to try to catch this on video for you guys. For those that are, these tractors, and maybe it'll be something kind of interesting for you to watch and see. But anyways, just an update, guys. That's super cool. I'm super stoked about that. This tractor is honestly my favorite tractor I've ever ran now. Because of that process, it is just so easy. Your click, everything is literally at your fingertip, which is very cool. So yeah, let's kind of get this route done, do the plowings. I'll put some video of me kind of using this joystick and get this storm wrapped up and head home and have a happy Christmas Eve with the family and open some gifts tomorrow. So let's get this done. Alright guys, so here is basically your two ways of running this tractor. So right now I'm going to do it this way and then kind of show you the other style. So put it in reverse right now, use my thumb to put it in reverse. I already hit the button here, the RPM is up right now, and we are going to back up to the garage door here, put this down, hit the button, lower the blower, put it in reverse or forward, sorry, and then now as we pull out, we have our full RPM to blow our snow. We're using the stick right now to shoot the snow and lifting the blower up and then backing up again and then moving over. Brake, blower down, aim the snow, put it forward, and here we go. Get that snow up, out, turn the chute, lift up the blower, put it in reverse, and do it again. So I'm just running everything, guys, right now off this stick. I'm not having to reach over here, reach back here. Everything I'm doing is off the stick, blower down, shooting the snow forward, put it in drive, or forwards rather. And then now I'm aiming the snow coming out again. And raising the snow a little bit. Lower now, lifting it up. And we're on to the next driveway here. So that's, I just did a driveway. My hand was here the entire time. Did not have to reach back here to lift the blower. Reach over here to control anything. Turn her on and off the PTO. Sometimes you may still have to do that depending if you don't want to be shooting the snow at that exact time, but everything was just done right from the stick. Do a whole driveway, my hand did not have to leave this position. So very cool. Alright guys, we're almost done here, and I am really enjoying this this 22.6.110. Honestly, at first I wasn't sure about these controls, but this is amazing how you can just lift your blower with a button, put it in reverse with a button. You're not reaching over here for the shifter. The RPMs are being held up right now by a preset, and literally to control this tractor as far as blowing a driveway, everything's ran off this joystick here, and it's just friggin' amazing. It's so easy to do. You're not reaching around for a bunch of buttons. Right now we're gonna lift the blower up, put it back in reverse, and away we go. It's just, and of course you're controlling your blower, meaning your direction of your snow, with the same joystick, which if you're used to running any kinds of equipment, like a skid steer or excavator, it's very similar to that. Up is up, down is down, over is over kind of a thing. So very cool guys, this is fun, because yesterday I wasn't really sure about this tractor and the positioning of stuff. And it's Jim, one of the owners here, is running the same tractor right now, and we're kind of chatting back and forth about these different presets and options. And I wasn't really sure at first how I felt about it, but super glad that we figured it out. And again, this thing is just so enjoyable to use. And I'm of the opinion that when you're operating, the less movements you have to make, as long as you're being efficient, then to me that's better. It's easier on your body. This job, when you blow snow, it's obviously very repetitive. I mean, we're doing literally hundreds and hundreds of pulls per shift. So anything that can remain productive but yet streamline that process, to me, is obviously a huge positive. And I'm sure the engineers at John Deere obviously had that in mind when they designed this setup. So obviously there's a lot of thought behind stuff like this in an engineering perspective, but from an operator's perspective, very cool, very enjoyable, and yeah, sharing that with you guys. So this has been a good, this is really my first storm in this tractor. As you guys know, this is like part 2 of this storm, but yesterday was my first day running it, and today is my second day in it. And with all new pieces of equipment, obviously it's very common that there's some learning curves with stuff, and this was no different. But I'd say when you kind of get that pleasant surprise that maybe at first you weren't happy with it, but as the shift goes on, you get kind of more seat time, you feel more comfortable with it. So that's certainly the case with this thing, and yeah, I couldn't be happier to be running this machine right now. All right, guys, that wraps up this storm. We are going to fuel up. As I mentioned, it is Christmas Eve, so we're gonna get back home now to our families. I know my kids are excited. We fill up the tractor here and go enjoy some family time. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hopefully this one was a fun one to watch. It was certainly a lot for us, and it was dragged on a bit longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. That's how this goes sometimes. The main thing is we're done. Customers are happy. The wind's still blowing around, so there's gonna be a little bit of nest left because of the wind, but that sometimes is something you just can't control. So we re-scraped everything as much as we could and have everything looking nice. So anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one, and I will wish you guys a Merry Christmas, although this will probably come to you late, but tomorrow is Christmas, so hope everyone has a safe holidays, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, have a good one.